Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. This morning we have two very special guests, creatives who are taking the Caribbean stories to the world stage. Let me welcome filmmakers Orion Gordon and Saeed Thomas. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Now, you all are both, I want to say pretty amazing. You've done some actually really amazing work internationally. Orion, you're an Emmy Award-winning song engineer, producer, performer, and filmmaker, and you're here out of Brooklyn.
Yes.
Are you originally from Brooklyn?
Born and bred, Trinidad, Tobago.
All right, just making sure, because if you had you done from Brooklyn, and I said, nah, this doesn't sound like a man from Brooklyn. And of course, you say you're Jamaican, and you've been working across stage, film, and television, and now the co-founder and CEO of M1, which is a leading production company. You've done some work with UNICEF, CONCACAF, and Jamaica Film and Television Association, and you're about to launch ODU, which we will get into in a bit. But both of you bring a strong Caribbean perspective to your work. I want to know, let me start with you, Orion. How does that shape the way that you tell stories?
Well, let's put things in perspective. I worked on a show as a sound engineer for about 5 years called Caribbean Life. And needless to say, nothing about that show was about Caribbean life.
Oh, wow.
It was about, quote unquote expats buying homes in Caribbean locations and
so living, who actually live and breathe and come from here.
Living this strange utopic Caribbean experience, reality that wasn't real. And that kind of triggered me to, focus my gaze on stories with a Caribbean origin from a Caribbean perspective.
Right.
So yeah, I just, I'm very fascinated by the Caribbean story. I'm very fascinated by the Caribbean narrative. And I just try to.
No, but I understand the impetus, because if you've been working on a show called Caribbean Life that have nothing to do with what you know Caribbean life to be, then of course it would be a nice motivation for you to say, I'm going to create my own. How about you, Saeed?
Yeah, I think it's important to define what is the Caribbean perspective. And we're thinking about words such as representation, the fact that we have so many different classes and races of people. Thinking about food, culture, language, where are we situated, and how is it that it impacts our storytelling. And it's just really trying to be authentic to all of those things that I would have listed. Yeah. And I always try and remain authentic to them, basically.
Yeah, and that's very important. Tell me what Audio is.
So Audio is an audiobook app specifically for Caribbean books. We do have a couple Trini books on it now. The biography of Lord Kitchener. We recently purchased the license for Green Days of the River, which was narrated by D.K. Rustant.
Okay.
So, we're getting into it, and we do have a few Jamaican books on it as well right now.
Nice, man. Yeah. Tell me, what role do you think sound plays in preserving and transforming culture? Now that you mentioned you're doing this specifically for Caribbean books, yeah?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because our cultural retention has been oral tradition.
Right.
And it's ironic that is how our stories have been passed down. It hasn't really been written, so it's now really just kind of making it tangible. So therefore you can go and have a historical reference of it. You can go and listen back to it, rather than maybe the stories changing from your grandmother to your mother to you.
With interpretation.
Right.
Yeah.
So oral tradition has been our way of storytelling. So, I've always appreciated that. And I think it's just, once again, keeping authentic and keeping true to what Caribbean storytelling is.
Most definitely. How about you, Orion? Because you're also a song engineer.
Yeah, I do some sound work as well. Have you ever spent any time in Independence Square?
Of course.
All right. It's an audible, it's a sonic masterpiece.
Ironically, I actually walked down Frederick Street and I recorded everything that I heard walking down Frederick Street. It was absolutely amazing.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, the relationship that we have as Caribbean people, it's so much, as you said, oral history. Yeah. There's so much energy in our lime, just the talking, the making of beats. You talk about Jamaica and how, the sound system is such a major part of global culture, hip hop, from hip hop to reggae to calypso,
to calypso, everything.
So the Caribbean is such a sonic masterpiece that it's only natural that's a major part of the work that I do, and
And speaking of which, tell me about your film for the film festival this year.
The film festival for this year is the film for this year that I have in the festival is Janine, which is an amazing opera singer from Trinidad and Tobago.
Janine the Beak, yeah.
And this is one of my first films.
Oh,
so
nice.
it was a topic that I decided. The name of the film is Janine, the Anatomy of an Aria.
Right.
And I, chose to do this film because, it's just she's close to home. It's close to home for me. It's a relatable story for myself, and it's a story that I want a lot of young Caribbean people to sort of experience. The whole, going away to pursue and to attain and to grow and to expand. And I want people to see where it starts and the potential for where it could possibly end up.
Saeed, tell me about your film.
So my film is Black Girl in the Ring. It's a coming-of-age story of Nanny of the Maroons. For those who don't know who the Maroons are, they are the community of the enslaved or the formerly enslaved people that escaped and formed communities in the mountains of Jamaica. And they would have made families and made communities with the indigenous as well. Yeah. And basically it's an adaptation of who we think Nanny is. Nanny is our national heroine. All right. And what it is that the ring game Brown Girl in the Ring, she wants to be a part of this ring game as a teenager, and she's ostracized because of her skin complexion. So it now speaks about themes about like colorism, and because she's ostracized, it now triggers, along with everything else that is happening in the time, it now triggers this emotion and triggers her to leave the system that she's in and now become the Maroon chiefess that we know her to be.
Nice. Both films sound very interesting. Tell me quickly when can we view them? Go ahead, Orion.
So my film, one viewing was yesterday. Today, and there's another viewing at 1 p.m.
One Woodbrook Place.
One Woodbrook Place, yes. Gemstone Theatre at 4:30 p.m.
4:30 p.m. today is yours.
And then on Saturday it's 12:30 in the 40X Theatre.
And mine is 10 a.m. at Gemstone today, and Saturday 3 p.m. at 4DX.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for these films that you're making to tell our stories. Please continue to do the great work that you're doing. Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Ladies and gentlemen, go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire, and if together we perspire, then together we most definitely can achieve. On behalf of Ianka, Natasha, and the entire team here at TTT, I want to wish you a beautiful day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our Friday edition of the Now Morning Show. Take care.